There's somebody who popped back on the scene recently, and I'm like, wow, look at this person. Senator Elizabeth Warren's come back around, and she's got something to tell you guys. Yeah, she's got something to say, guys. Check out Elizabeth Warren coming back from the dead.
Doing the work, getting in the weeds, never forgetting who we were all there to serve. Among all the other candidates I competed with in the Democratic primary, there's no one I've agreed with 100% of the time over the years. But one thing I appreciate about Joe Biden is he will always tell you where he stands. When you disagree, he'll listen. And not just listen, but really hear you and treat you with respect, no matter where you're coming from. And he's shown throughout this campaign that when you come up with new facts or a good argument, he's not too afraid or too proud to be persuaded. Joe Biden was there at the very moment I became a senator. He swore me in, and when he did, he said, "You gave me hell, and you're going to do a great job." Because that's the thing about Joe. He wants you in the fight with him. And when you're in the fight with Joe at your side, you know you have a partner who's committed to getting something good done for this country. Joe Biden is a selfless public servant. He is committed to the fight for social, racial, and economic justice. Joe Biden will lead a government that works for the American people. And now it's up to all of us to help make Joe Biden the next president of the United States. Let's get to work. Go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking about something else totally different. I forgot I was even doing the show. Forgot I was playing the video. Forgot that person on the screen even existed. But yeah, she's back again. Senator Elizabeth Warren is back to claim her spot as being world's most dodgiest politician in the Senate, who faked to be a progressive, who faked to have a backbone, who loved to talk about fighting and never fought a day in her life. And she's back to endorse, you heard it guys, Joe Biden. Because we all know Joe Biden is always open to conversations about policy. And he's so respectful. He cares so much about what you think. And he always weighs your suggestions thoroughly. Like in this clip.
How do you feel it went?
That felt good.
Yeah?
Felt good.
What do you think of Elizabeth Warren's Medicare for All plan?
Time to get real.
How do you feel it went?
That felt good.
Yeah?
Felt good.
What do you think of Elizabeth Warren's Medicare for All plan?
Time to get real.
Yeah, man. Yeah. She wanted what? Oh, tell her to go do her fingernails on her toes, get a bikini wax, and see me in the morning. Because come on, man. Tell her to get real. She working with the. They let her write again. She's got a pen again. Oh, come on. Tell her Falcon Crust to be on in a couple of hours to record that or watch it or something. Didn't I hear Dallas was coming on? Sex in the City or whatever she likes. Maud and whoever that lady was. Tell her Penny Marshall's reruns of Laverne Shirley on. Come time to listen to her. Tell her Aunt B said, come take the turkey out of the freezer. Get real. Yeah, that's Joe Biden, Mr. Old Respectful, Responsive. Always listening to a good idea. Always up to hear you out. He doesn't give a shit about you, you dummy. You big dummy. He's laughing at you. You spent all this time on those plans, and he just took his junk out and just said, I don't care. He took an abstract dump on your papers and then gave it back to you. Get out of here. Well, hey, man. I don't know. Maybe I missed something. Maybe that's his way of showing he respects you. Well, listen up here, buddy. I'm not going to listen till you have to say these mean things about me. Listen here, Tim Black. I went away, gathered my thoughts. I was up there fighting for the Coronas. Me and my husband had a beer, and we didn't drink Corona either, sir. Mr. Milk Dudhead, I was up here fighting. I come back, and you still got things to say about me that aren't true. You're still nitpicking. I told you before, I don't stand up for anyone. So stop trying to make me stand up. I'm a lay-down person, and I fight by sitting down. She went away for cigarettes and never came back. She accidentally popped back up. And why'd she pop back up, Johnson? She popped back up because she says she would like to be VP. That's why she's back. She thinks she got a shot at VP. She wouldn't endorse Bernie Sanders, the person she stole most of her policies from. Wouldn't support him back when she had an opportunity to, back when it would have mattered, back when it would have saved this campaign that people say they care so much about. I'm just being hard on Bernie because I really cared about the campaign. Well, that's who you should be hard on, the mofo that wouldn't endorse him, that could have changed the race, who turned down a plea for an endorsement. Elizabeth Warren, then she comes back after everything's done. After Obama comes out, she comes out. Oh, let me go with the winner. Because it takes guts to go with the person who won. You know, the person who the president went with. The person after the last contender has endorsed him. Now I'll come out and have his back. Yeah, and show everybody how strong I am. How I'm a fighter. Joe Biden wrote the bankruptcy bill, lied about it on national TV in front of the whole freaking world. It's the bill that Elizabeth Warren railed against the most when she started that Consumer Financial Protection Bureau or whatever. And she is now endorsing him and saying he's great for the people. Well, Elizabeth Warren sat down. She sat down with Rachel Maddow, and Rachel Maddow asked her a couple questions, and uncharacteristically, totally not her style, she answered a question directly. And you best believe it wasn't about anything concerning us.
You know me. You know what I've been fighting for all of my career, so that hardworking people across this country get a real chance, and that opportunity doesn't just go to a handful of folks at the top, but really does go to everybody in this country, and that we make the investments to make that happen. My conversations with Joe Biden long predate this presidential race. They predate the 2016. We've had a lot of conversations about how we build an America going forward, with lots of different pieces and parts to that. Now that I'm no longer in the presidential race, I had a chance to resume a lot of those and to start a bunch of new ones. Because look, we both want the same thing. We want this country to work, and we want it to work for everyone. So I'm in this fight to help in any way I can. To help on the policy front, to help by getting out there and talking about it, to help by telling people, go to joebiden.com, pitch in your $5, send some texts, volunteer some time. Because it truly is the case. We are all in this now. And we have seen the importance of having a leader that we can count on in a crisis. It's not Donald Trump. It is Joe Biden.
If he asked you to be his running mate, would you say yes?
Yes.
I'm so happy you just gave me a concise answer to that.
Yeah. You hear Rachel Maddow at the end there? She finally got a chance to talk again after Elizabeth Warren ran on and on and on and on. She says, if he asked you to be his VP, would you? Yeah. Even Rachel was surprised. She was like, wow, I'm really glad you answered that directly. Wow. Because she never answers questions directly when you ask her. Never, ever. She does word salad. Oh, yeah. So Elizabeth Warren, Will you support helping poor people, not live in the streets, die in the gutters, and watch their children get shot? And, what do you come up on that? Well, I gotta tell you, there was a time when me and my Aunt B, we used to make pancakes. And we made the most delicious pancakes in the entire Oklahoma City. And I would make those pancakes, and I would sit there, and I'd go, wow, I'd like some molasses on my pancakes. And she'd say, but what about the butter? Then we break out the butter. Then sometimes we get the syrup with the lion's head on it. The king's syrup, and it was the king of syrups. But they said it causes the diabetes. I said, I don't need the diabetes. Then we started getting the Aunt Jemima, and I said, that may be a little insensitive to the blacks. So I stopped getting that kind. Then I started getting honey, and I like honey on my pancakes. Why? Are you sleeping? I'm sorry. Did I put you to sleep? I like sleeping too. Sometimes I bring a pillow with me, just so when I'm talking, if I nod off, I don't hit my head on the microphone. Did I tell you about all the selfies I took last time I was here? Oh, I took so many selfies. I took the selfies and I took money from waitresses that was going to be the last of their $5 that they had in their pockets. I took it to fund my campaign. That's right. And that's why I want to be your president. Elizabeth Warren has the uncanny ability to say a lot of shit but not mean anything. In other words, she's an expert politician. And she wants to be Joe Biden's VP. And it's something you may have missed from all of that word salad she was throwing at you. You may have missed the part where she said she had a lot of conversations with Joe Biden over the last few weeks. Yeah, I wonder, were any of those during the time when we were asking you to come out and endorse Bernie so we could beat the brakes off Biden? After Pete and after, Amy came out for Biden? I wonder if you were talking to him around that time and decided, hey, I'll just stay tight and let Bernie, not get endorsements. I wonder if you talked to Obama as well, because you kept having all these phone conversations. Yeah. We already know what happened with this. So what's the big deal with this VP thing? People say you should take a look at Joe Biden. They keep saying it. Let me put my button back on. I wouldn't want to be accused for the 15th time of being a Biden supporter. Yeah, Tim's trying to sheep herd everyone back to Biden. The guy, the only independent media on the left who actually sells no Joe Biden buttons and T-shirts and has sold them for 6 months. He's the guy that they accuse of being a Biden supporter. But anyway, back to my point. So Joe Biden has this thing about women, we all know. That's why there's a woman by the name of Tara Reid who says that he sexually assaulted her back in 1993, and corporate media won't talk about it, won't lay a finger on it. Elizabeth Warren just proclaimed how great he was. To my disgust, Bernie Sanders endorsed him. Though he said he would, doesn't make me feel good about it. I hate it. I despise it. It's disgusting. Joe Biden should be questioned about Tara Reid. But Joe Biden says he loves the ladies, man. He denies all allegations. He said he didn't do a damn thing, man. Come on, man, listen. He didn't do anything. We can go outside. We can do some push-ups, some sit-ups. We can talk about it. We can do that. You want to, come on, fat. We can go outside and fight about it. He offers, he want to cash you outside. Joe Biden said, cash me outside. Notoriously on the campaign trail, Joe Biden was known for threatening people as they asked him questions. Threatening them to fistfights in the parking lot. Well, Joe Biden's also said on many occasions that he would love to have a woman as a VP. Here he is, Anderson Cooper and Dr. Gupta, where he talks about that.
Previous pledge to pick a woman for vice president. Would you reconsider that for a qualified candidate who has performed admirably during this crisis, like Governor Cuomo?
I think Governor Cuomo is capable of being president. I think he's a great guy, but I think it's also important that that there be a woman. I think it's important that we look. I want administration to look, and there's plenty of qualified, there's plenty of women with the experience and the capability of being president tomorrow. And I think it's important that we begin to have my administration, God willing, is going to look like America. And I genuinely mean that. Not just vice president, but making sure that we have a Supreme Court, we have a cabinet, we have a White House that looks like the country. And I think it really matters. And so I think it's really important that and there's plenty of qualified people who have the experience and background, who are women, are ready to be president on day one.
Let's get to one more viewer question from Scott Owens in Wisconsin.
You know, I think it's really important that we have a presidential candidate, a nominee who can complete a sentence, Johnson. All the way through. That could say one thought and complete the thought before starting another thought. Might be a good idea, Johnson. It might help in these things called debates, where the whole world is going to be watching you not be able to finish anything. I think that a woman would be capable of, I think Cuomo is, Cuomo would be a great president, but in the Biden administration, I like qualified women. There are a lot of qualified women. I think it's time and a lot of qualified women, and we should have my administration. God willing, would look like, and I think that, and I'm just going to stick with that. I think you should stick with being in the home. This is your guy. This is the guy that you crushed and thwarted and pushed to get behind to stop my guy. This guy. Hard to swallow. Look, I got nothing against there being a female vice president or female president. I want the best person for the job. Give me somebody I can believe in, that I'll trust. But more than that, give me somebody who's going to actually fight for me. Not say they're going to fight for me, but actually do some fighting for me, my friends, my kids, my neighbors, people across the world, all of us, to fight to make this country a better country for us to live in, and a friendlier country so other countries can exist and live in peace as well. That would be a beautiful thing. Where would that person come from? I don't know. I don't see it in a pool of people that they have been suggesting would be a good VP for Joe Biden. But I don't think at the end of the day it's going to matter at all, because I don't see Joe Biden defeating Donald Trump. Donald Trump right now is having checks printed out with his name on them. Those stimulus checks, the hard copy checks that are going to be going to Americans that they're going to be able to cash, the last thing they're going to be thinking is Donald Trump gave me money. Yeah, he just turned a negative into a positive for himself. It's going to be hard for Joe Biden, who can't complete a sentence, to contend with a guy giving people $1,200, some people as much as $2,900. I'm not saying it's right, Johnson. I'm saying it's reality. It would take somebody kind of exciting, kind of able to overcome that. And you think it's the guy who can't complete a thought. Okay. And I'm a Russian bot for pointing it out. I'm a Trump supporter from telling you grass is green, water's wet, and ovens when turned on are hot. But okay, fine. You win. No problem. No problem.
Previous pledge to pick a woman for vice president. Would you reconsider that for a qualified candidate who has performed admirably during this crisis, like Governor Cuomo?
There is one last thing. It's one last thing. But before I do that, guys, can we stop talking about Cuomo? Like, Cuomo's not, he's not good. No, it's not good. People that think Cuomo are good are people who don't live in New York. Yeah, those are the people that are like Cuomo. It's sort of like the people that think Pete was good. They didn't live in South Bend. Oh, he sounds so smart. Why didn't he use the smarts to make things better for the people in South Bend? But you don't live there and you just look at how someone talks, and you go, he seems so good and smart. He seems like he'd be so refreshing. He did a shit job in South Bend, sort of like Cuomo. Cuomo does a shit job in New York. You like him in sound bites where he gets to pretend to be Democratic or progressive or something. But in reality, he's a corporate tool. That's all he's been. He cut Medicaid in a pandemic. Case closed, face closed. Who cuts health services during a health crisis? Andrew Cuomo. And still, we have people who have the Google, they have the Bing, they have the DuckGo, and they can look these things up. They don't look them up, Johnson. They watch MSNBC. They watch the MSNBC and the CNN, and they make their minds up. They know nothing. Guys, we might have to start our own country. Might have to start our own country, Johnson, because it looks to me like we're not gonna penetrate the thick skulls. I mean, I can't even count on my independent media people to question the AP article. What am I expect from this guy? This guy, what I expect him to look on Google about Andrew's voting record or Andrew's governance in New York? Shit. What am I expecting him to do?